It's Strictly Football Podcast, the ultimate Botswana's #1 football value chain conversations platform.
Congratulations to the Money Machine, Gaborone United, for clinching the inaugural FNB Premiership. Big up to the boys from Zola.
Yeah, well done to GU. They stood up to be counted when it mattered the most.
Yeah,
They did well.
Congratulations.
They did well.
I know, receive like a fire.
They did well. They did well.
No, they did well.
Look at the energy. Guys, come on.
Bafana Marapantev did very well.
Big up to the boys.
Yeah,
man.
no, they did very well. They did very well.
Welcome to episode 5 of his Strictly Football Podcast. We're at it again. It's a wrap today. The league is closed and we're going to discuss all things the FNB Premiership. Let's go, guys. What's your impressions? Now it's closed. We have spoken for the past, 4 or 5 weeks? Yeah, we've been at it. We've been enjoying this league and it's going to a close. FNB came. It showed us what they can do. They've even extended the contract as well with the Premier League. It looks good. So what do you say about the Premier League? Any impressions?
The Premier League went well. I think particularly towards the end of last year to this year, they picked up. There wasn't so much controversy surrounding games. There wasn't too many games that were postponed, unless that time when teams came to the party. They were almost showing up. There wasn't a lot of drama. Except Gunners, of course. And then, I think fairly for me, I'll give the league a 7 out of 10. I think not a bad start.
Okay, that's a great rating from where we're coming from.
Yeah. I think it was a great league. First season with FNB, I think it's been a smooth league. League extended contract, like you're saying, with FNB. The CEO then extended, so I believe they're happy with his work. But I know we don't have a lot of problems. I want to points they did about the room and whatnot. Points they had so I think it's been a good, smooth running league, and we expect more and more going forward.
You're talking about Mamelodi extending his stay in the Premier League. I don't know. Are you happy with that? Would you have given him an extension after this league's performances and everything?
No, definitely. I believe he's a great football administrator on a great track record. Orlas, the Camp Orlas, when he was there, they would tell you what this guy was a top administrator. Would really for whatever reasons they did, but his job speaks for it. Orlas lost, definitely.
What do you think? Would you have given him a contract?
Definitely. I think find him 2 good lieutenants and then you have a stellar administration team. Mamelodi, the track record speaks for itself. Like every other good soldier, he attracts bad media here and there. But generally, I would have given him the contract. Look at the league, guys. Let's be fair. Yeah. Aside from anything else, maybe small things here and there, the league was fairly run, was well run. The fixtures, I think they were well planned. Okay, maybe save for a few midweek fixtures, but was not retiring, we're chasing time. The men did well. Give him his flowers. They did well. There's room for improvement, but kudos to Mamelodi. And we look forward to seeing where he steers the ship next season.
Yeah.
Okay, great. You gave the Premier League 7 out of 10. What are the ratings?
More or less. I would say 7 is fair. Okay. Yeah. But I believe we can get to 8, 9. Yeah. Wonder if next season we fix the issues on it, fixturing, the venue more. Because if you remember, there was a game you really go.
Small things.
The next thing I call area and all that. But if we fix those things, I believe will be good.
Okay, great. In terms of teams, which team really impressed you most? I don't know if you're going to talk about the first half of the season or the second half, or just in general.
Yeah, personally, 2 teams.
Okay.
Yeah, Tafik has been very impressive. Yeah, I think from start to finish they've been consistent.
And there are rumors that they might get some good investment.
Yeah, but I think they should be getting investment. Ghetto people, come through, please. Yeah. We need you. We need you because that team, something is brilliant.
And also it's a history in terms of, I think position and number of points accumulated.
Yeah.
I think it's also
it is. Yeah. The other team that impressed me is Soa Flamingos, also been brilliant. Lebone is the history, but number 3, they've never. It's impressive, and also we were talking. They've been scoring goals. They've been free scoring They scored the most goals in the second round.
Three
Yeah?
brilliant strikers.
Yeah, right now they have Bamuza Morwalela, they have Samuel Makoro, they have Serati Semaidi. Between them, they have 31 goals.
That's
That's impressive.
Yeah, that's impressive. Between the three of them all. And you can check on the log.
And
what
I
between
looked
you
into,
got
into
Amoga.
our data sheet that we created. I realized that the most points accumulated was in the second half of the season.
Yeah,
They were
that's
really
like-
coming for it. Eh?
They were
they were
really
really
coming for it.
coming
It was GU and them second round. They were really coming for it, my guy. I think Nicola Lene came and breathed some good life into them.
Okay, I'm gonna hold you there. Talking about Nicola, he extended.
Yes.
Talk about Nicola and his extension, what it may mean for sure.
No, I mean it means good things. Let's give Nicola his credit. You know, Nicola knows how to stay a good team. He knows how to put together a good team, get the best out of his players. Ramon Corolas, he did well. Took them to the group stages, I think.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's like careful.
careful.
Yeah, I think it was the first time in
First time, yeah. And then he came back, Kosowa, assembled a good squad, fairly good squad, and Bonari, he was competing. And, you know, for me, these are things that I want to see going on. I want Nicola to stay Kosowa. I want them to maybe to keep the core of their players and beef up here and there, because we want to see Soa really coming for it. We want to see GU defend. We want to see other teams come up.
Yeah,
see them
only
getting
if we have 10 strong teams. It
Yeah.
makes for a good
Then we have
game.
a good
Yeah,
league and we have a
yeah,
good
yeah.
national team.
We have a good national team. You know, speaking of teams that impressed me, obviously Tafik, man. But look at it, Tafik didn't start this season. You remember the previous season when the new chairman came on board? I think he came Toteng.
Yeah.
Toteng. He came on.
Shout out to him.
Shout
Man. I
out.
mean, sometimes we don't speak about the men behind the
Yeah.
scenes who actually do the things that.
You know, he did well. He came in previous season, took over. You know, a lot of people were not happy about Tafik for whatever reasons, but he proved his mettle. He came, finished 5th, went and got. You know, they had a player, Meonaya or Rapa. They lost their key player.
Yeah.
Went and reinforced the Batsilegabo, Agogo, Admjagogo, and then they went 2nd position. And you know, they were in contention right up until maybe week 28. That's an impressive feat.
Yeah.
You look at one other team that impressed me though, has to be Murupule.
Oh, okay.
I think
Talk about
Murupule was a tough nut to crack. Murupule was a good team. I think Leon, kudos to the chairman, Mr. Dingalo. He came in on board, became chairman, made a few changes, put in a good solid structure. And the team is competing. The team is competing. Because not a lot of teams are getting points to go Murupule, you know.
Yeah, I know.
You know, they lost Makwengwe early season, I think.
Yeah.
And then they came in with another coach. It shows they have direction. I like where they are going. I wish they could keep their core players as well and maybe reinforce where necessary. And, you know, let's just go for it. Because what I don't want in these teams, I don't really prefer, I don't really want a situation where players are rotating, moody teaming, we don't really see the crop of players, progression. So I want these teams maintain their core, beef up where necessary, and let's go for the championship. I think Murupule is a credible
Great.
contender.
Talking about maintaining the squad, and you're talking about Sua as one of the most impressive teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are rumors that obviously, you know, Nicola is always going to want to assemble his kind of preferred squad.
Yes.
And there are rumors that we may see a lot of players maybe going out on loan or leaving Sua, creating space for the.
Yeah.
Because now I believe the ambition of Sua is
Ambition is
changed.
yes.
definitely.
I think now
It's
the next season the ambition is we can actually go for this.
Yeah, I think
So
they've
do you think that
they've laid a strong
affecting
foundation.
some of the players? Yeah.
Yeah, some of the players will move and new players will come in. Like we've said, Nicola wants to win.
Yeah.
Nicola is a winner by nature. So he's going to go for it. Leon he has a solid base. Yes, he'll keep 5, 6, 7, 8 players that he believes he can build on and above venture into the transfer market. I think it's going
One
to be
key player
a
that we're
crazy
talking
market.
about, we need to say this. There have been conversation about Smart. And congratulations to Smart on his wedding.
Yeah. Very nice.
Happy life, happy
big
family
player.
life. Big player now.
player.
Out of this smaller league. Big man.
Yeah, big player.
One of the names is Smart.
Yeah.
And being mentioned in so I think it might be an interesting kind of conversation to him right now. Look at where Sua is. Do you think so?
Yeah, if I'm smart, if I'm Fanta, and Swa comes calling,
Yeah.
I'm definitely going there, man. Okay.
Township Brothers.
My guy, Swa
It's
is
an
on the
institution.
up. Township
You
Brothers.
don't
No, I think
institutions.
Guys, sometimes I think, you know, Sma is always a conversation starter because a lot of people sometimes feel is overrated. But Sma is a brilliant player. Smile is a
Very
brilliant player,
consistent.
very consistent.
Since
Remember
he came into this league.
Yeah.
Very
Remember in
consistent.
2016 he was supposed to take the top goal scorer, and then
what
on
happened?
on the last day, the Gilport guy, is it
Tendanya
Tendanya
Mazazo.
Mazazo?
Yeah, he scored
He
seven.
scored 7 goals on the last day, but you know,
We have been having situations of 7 goals on the last few days.
Yeah, it
One of
happens.
your interesting teams did that
Yeah.
sometime all over. But
Big team.
okay, great. Yeah, I mean, I think you've mentioned the teams that I probably could have mentioned, and the other one, which I'm not going to mention. Congratulations to the champions, but we continue. We can't just talk about the most impressive teams and not talk about the ones that were, kind of disappointing. Let's start from you now.
You know, for me, the most disappointing team, obviously, I'm just going to be start straightforward and hit. You know, for me, it has to be Rollers, you know. Okay. Rollers is a big brand, probably the most successful team locally, the most supported team, and Rollers simply didn't pitch up. I think with every season, ever since Jack Dish maybe stepped aside, with every season, the ship seems to be going out of course, and if they're not careful, they will not be able to steer it back. Rollers didn't come to the party, and
but to their defense, man, I think they started pretty well. I mean, they were in contention up until
22, 23,
when there was no money to pay or
games.
something. I don't know.
But let me tell you, the issue with Rollers is, the issue of promise, not particularly with Rollers. It always starts good, okay. But when promises are not being fulfilled, when do we realize that promises are not being fulfilled?
Yeah.
We realize around March, April, not
Something's
everything
wrong, yeah.
is what it looks like. And they simply, they fold. Right now they're selling their merchandise at 70% off and 100 people. I'm like, come on, Rollers are a big brand. You can sell these things at maybe 50% off, but 70% off.
That's a giveaway.
And then you are wondering, how deep do the financial troubles lie in this place? For me, Rollers was a big disappointment. Because remember, we'll talk about it later. The derby, there were no fans because they simply stopped performing.
Yeah.
Rollers performs, stadiums pack. So we need that.
While on that, I need to say a big up to the players. I honestly believe the Rollers players are very good people because they've been really, really fighting this. Like at some point where there was no money and there was no whatever, but the players would come, would pitch up, would show up. And they'll be mum until when maybe Toto put out something to say, guys, this is tough. But some of us knew all these issues.
Yeah,
many
you would know what they are not paid. April already you understand. But they're still working. They're still putting in the shift. Yeah. So I can't blame her from here to there. But at the end of the day, the boys, the guys, the players, I think they've done their part.
Okay, Rollers number 2.
Rollers number 2, but also on the issue of Rollers.
No. In terms of which the second team that's
the second team. For me, second team would have to be security systems, of course.
This guy in systems.
I thought he was going to go with Gunners this time around.
I'll get to Gunners.
But you're talking to a Rollers and systems.
Rollers and systems. Do you know why I don't go to Gunners?
Okay.
Gunners, I was always expecting it. There's nothing I'm not expecting go Gunners. Whatever is happening go Gunners is what we live through. We've lived through for the past 10 years. It's Gunners. We know it's going to happen.
Okay, I think that's valid.
That's valid because it's Gunners. But with security systems, we thought it was a team that belonged to an institution that is professionally run. And to be fair, for the seasons that they were in the league, they were doing things well. They were so professional. You never had issues of players not being paid. Player welfare, and to be fair, even up to now, you're not hearing that. But for me, my biggest issue with them is that they did not turn up on the pitch. Security systems should have turned up. They did not turn up, and that's going to be a big loss because it was one of those dark teams that these are the dark horses.
Yeah.
They were a consistent team in the top 8. Now suddenly they're gone, and for me it was a big disappointment.
I nearly said they're fighting relegation.
They're gone.
so because we've been saying they're fighting relegation for the past 5 weeks. Now they're no longer fighting. They decided not to fight. Or whatever, decided they're not fighting. Okay, I'm gonna say this. When you spoke about Sua, we spoke about Moripule. You spoke so much about the power behind. The power behind the teams and the players, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think security systems players did not necessarily play or want to play.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to focus on the power behind the players to say what was going on. Because you're saying something great to say. They've been paid well. You have never yet complained about unpaid salaries. So what is really the problem? And like you said in episode around 2 or 3, they have a good squad. Then what is the problem?
But that's the thing, my guy. It's a bit of mystery.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't know what's happening in that camp. We feel they're capable of much more than what they did. Yeah.
We should invite someone from Suwa over to come over and
And share that module with everyone.
with everyone or what.
So I'm gonna go back to my issue to say systems had a system of systematically ensuring that they're not in the Premier League.
Yes.
But we were gonna leave it there. We're not gonna take it any further. We're not trying to be very controversial. We never tried to do that. You talked about Ghana. No, you spoke about Ghana. Your top two probably disappointing teams.
It's Rollers and Ghana's that we've said enough about them. I don't think I can say any more.
Great.
And mostly,
Okay,
the results were not forthcoming the way we want to. Rollers played well until there was a point we could see where they threw in the towel.
Yeah.
Like you could literally see what a Bacha is. You understand? Yeah. The supporter line when it was the end, Leona Bacha is because.
Man, I think let's just jump into that. When you talk about the players and throwing it was. There's a point where I put in a post to say, this is very Township Rollers. I even take them. Normally I don't take it.
Yeah.
I even take them to say, Township Rollers, this is disappointing.
That was
The debut.
that was in the debut.
The
Yeah,
debut.
that we attended.
Yeah, we watched the debut together. But talk about your experience with the debut.
Man, like, over the years, I've watched a lot of this games, debut, like Gaborone United and Rollers. But, it was very disappointing. The turnout, Rollers side was disappointing, to say the least.
The player body language and everything.
Yeah. But anyway, I was impressed by the young kids, the young boys, Township Rollers, that they came in. I think they have a good future. If I'm me, we've had this conversation. If I'm me, I'm taking these kids. I'm giving them more game time from next. I'm building with those kids. I think there's something in there.
You know, we spoke about Township Rollers, whether they have to take the route of building with the young players or sticking.
Yes,
with
I
the
remember.
players. I think this is an opportunity for them to actually build.
No, I think there is an opportunity to build.
Because now players know
Now
that it's
players
tough.
know.
Yeah.
They
And
know
the
it's
supporters know that it's tough.
It's tough, you understand. I think we should get to that transitioning moment, Hela.
I think so.
Yeah.
You know, but also I think we don't give Roller supporters credit, you understand? Whenever these guys are called upon to come support the team, they come support. But for some reason, the management disappoints the team, okay?
Season after season.
Season after season, the people at the helm of the team, they've been disappointing the team. The supporters are always there. The only thing they get is disappointment. They spend their hard-earned money to go watch the team, and then for what? And there is also one thing that at Rollers they are starting to adopt that I don't like. Player welfare, guys. Player welfare. A team can have troubles and everywhere, but players should not be involved in that. You know, there's a rap song by Eminem. He says it's called.
I knew the convention will take us into rap. Okay.
We need a beat.
We need a beat. You should listen. You know it. 25 to life. You know, there's a verse in there. He says, all I do is rap. I cannot moonlight on the side. I have no life outside of that. No, this man is saying, this is the only thing I do. This is my bread. And for a lot of these players, this is their bread. This is the only thing they do. When you play
Only
with
thing
that,
they know, man.
this is the only thing they know for most of them. And it's a short career. If you play with that, you don't take that seriously. What are you saying? We're asking them to be beggars. Next thing, the memorial game, let's raise funds for certain players. When we let them down in the first place, for a brand as big as Rollers, we shouldn't be seeing that. And they really need to introspect and say, what are we doing with these players?
True. It is a very, quite a heartbreaking situation, really. I understand they were given some few money though after the game, some thousands or something. Maybe to just, not salary.
No salaries, yeah.
Just maybe to say thank you for coming. I don't know. Because the supporters were not there. But again, when you talk about, I remember when we had a conversation about the supporters and I said, I think this is the highest level of rivalry. I don't think it would have been easy for supporters to come and watch the Guard of Honor, to come and watch GU celebrate and everything. I don't know, man. But I think them not coming, apart from the fact of money and issues with management and everything, I think that demonstrated the pure element of rivalry. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, to an extent, I would say, because I believe if the league had not been wrapped up at that point, if the league was on the line on the day, I believe the National Stadium would have been packed. And Rollers would have played to try to deny their arch rivals the title. But now there was nothing to play for. Yeah. And GU won. They won the league, they won the debut.
Okay. Cool. Let's talk about Messi.
Messi, wow, what a player. You know, we talked about the player.
How can we say what a player when Messi was not in
No, there's a reason for that. You
Okay.
know, when
Talk
we
about Messi.
When we talked about Messi, we said he hasn't been showing up like more consistently of late. We felt okay, he scored goals, but he hasn't been showing up.
Yeah.
And we even commended him. He's a good player, he's a good lad. He needs to go up to his level. And guess what he did?
Yeah, that's the thing. Messi has a
Went up
level
to
that
his
we
level.
judge him on. I get
Yeah.
yeah, he has a level.
He
He's
went to
really
He
the
brought it up on the
when
final
it mattered.
two
Final 2 games when it mattered. He raised his hand and said, "Hagesale go AFCON." That's what.
AFCON?
Yeah. Dude, we are competing.
Listen, not playing.
No, my guy, we need goals.
We need
Messi has goals.
Messi has goals.
So what are you asking? Messi has goals.
And
boy.
You think Messi's gone?
And he's a hard worker as well. Eh?
I want Messi on the plane. That's me. I want Messi on the plane.
For me, Messi is going because wow, brilliant player, right up there.
Yeah.
Definitely a worthy inclusion.
Yeah. Shout out to
Like,
him, man. I
yeah.
think he came out nicely.
Yeah, top player.
And also talking about the derby, I think the young Josepula had a brilliant game. I know he considered a very silly goal, but man, he came up.
He had a
came
few lapses in the first half, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think he came back strong.
Are you saying
I
the
think his
scoreline could have
mentality
been
is
more?
different.
Are you saying the scoreline could have
It
been
could have been more, honestly. Oh, you didn't watch the game?
I didn't watch
Yeah.
the game.
Yeah, it could have been more.
My
He
name
made
was
some
like
brilliant
it.
2-3. Oh, he went to another
Yeah,
gig.
name was
Listen,
like it. Yeah.
We have a top artist Ghana here. You'll forget.
Yeah, no, I think Kwesipula is nice. I think Kwesipula is nice. I think guidance Abukabelo, it's rubbing off on him. His talent, not questionable.
Do you see him getting more games coming up next season?
It depends.
With the
it depends.
issues that or the rumors that Mapakela might go to Sunday Chiefs.
To Sunday Chiefs.
Do you think they're gonna sign top goalkeeper or
No,
with KB and
they already have a
Fosipula?
top goalkeeper.
Yeah, with KB and Fosipula.
Yeah,
if Mapakela leaves, do you think they're gonna?
If my Pakala
Sign-
leaves, if I'm Rollers,
Yeah.
I'll keep Kwesipula as my second choice. I believe he's good enough.
Then look for a younger player to.
Yeah,
Switch to the third choice.
yeah, to be the third choice. I think Kwesipula is good enough.
Okay, let's talk about the most promising team. I think it will be MCC. Let's talk about Sunday Chiefs.
The project is amazing.
Talk about that project.
The project
How
is
exciting is that?
The project is exciting, but for me at the moment, it's not the most promising team. For me, anyway.
Okay.
It's an exciting.
Okay, this is gonna be interesting.
Come on now, so
I thought- it's an exciting
I thought the
project.
top 4 or 5 teams we talked about are not promising. They are up there. But,
They're
okay.
No, they're a promising project. I think that they're on the. They're on the.
That's
right
Centre
track.
Chiefs.
That's Centre Chiefs.
Okay.
But my issue with them is, you know, that those small lapses that they had towards the end of the season kind of derailed them. You know, ever since red card ya ga Mutenya, o ka re season ya bone e be simola go unravel nyana e shikega. They lost to Matebele. I think High Lord, they were in contention out of the league. They ended up drawing or losing a game as well. Where you were expecting them to be in the final because we thought it would have been there. But and more so that, you know, we find Bobo Lassi dropped Habastolo with no explanation. Some of the small things really that I think, good thing is that they have nothing to do with the administration. Maybe they will be solved, but I think if they get their things right, I want to see that team perform well. King White team is they have a huge following.
So if they're correct that you believe that they will be.
If they're correct that I believe there will be a team to beat. They just need 2-3 players to beef up their squad. Then there will be a team to beat. There definitely will be a team to beat. You know, they're organized. You see, there was. Beautiful team.
Let me tell you a secret about this guy. He already messaged the guys that he's looking for a replica and everything. I think he's a gone dude.
He's a gone dude. No,
I don't know what he's gonna say to.
He's gone. He's gone.
I don't know what he's gonna say to Tafik.
Hey.
I think he's a gone dude.
He's gone. He's gone.
Hey, it's
But I might be gone too, but I'm still fine. I might be
The
gone.
entire studio is gonna accept me.
I'm not going there.
Oh, you're not going there.
I'm going elsewhere.
Oh,
I'm going
okay.
elsewhere.
I'm staying where I am, guys. Now I'm not.
I'm
leaving.
going elsewhere.
Muna wa are karawa mining, so muna wa mining.
Okay.
Muna wa mining.
Transfer news.
It's not the news. No, me again, I'm just going across the road if things go
okay.
right.
Oh, what a child.
You told like Dronica, if things go right.
Okay. So talk about your team, man. Talk about Centre Chiefs. I saw there hours. Well done.
Very organized.
Are you
throwing shades?
No,
Are you
no,
throwing
I'm not
shades?
comparing. No,
Come on straight there.
my shades are here. I'm not throwing anything.
Don't throw shade.
I should come at them straight.
Hey, no.
Premier League, where are the hours?
When?
When? How?
Today.
They are today,
They're later today.
but now they're not telling us the time. We are still waiting.
Where's the
Oh,
venue?
they told the relevant people the time.
No, Lord.
Because we're not winning an award. Maybe they called everybody who missed
we are
It's
documenting.
already ready.
Should I
Where's the
imagine-
venue? We want to be in the awards.
But hey, let's call them after this, eh? Hey, I really let's go officing FUB, Premier League.
Yeah. But guys, you remember when you talked about FUB, their involvement in awards? When they also spoke about the manpower, kind of manpower.
But I have a question in terms of that. You know, as Premier League, you come out and give a memo and say the awards will be run by FUB, they will be leading the thing. And then next thing, the memo Premier League or cancel the award, or postpone rather.
True. Where's FUB in this?
And then you come again, you set a date and say, no, Decade 28, which is today, and then you say, okay, there was more information will come in due course.
And what
Yeah.
did
Hey,
you-
Ghana-
we still due
We're still
course.
waiting for the
We're
information.
still waiting for the information and look at the time. The time is what now?
Yeah.
Almost 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Hara kopa di visa gore ra di awards.
You know, if there's something wrong with our institutions, is the issue of outsourcing. They can't do that. I don't know why. I don't think the Premier League should actually be handling this hour, this event, and everything. I mean, there are young companies out there who can do brilliant ones.
Yeah, and also,
Why not outsource
and
these
also, I think that was, I kind of feel like they are rushed. You understand? I don't know what's the rush. Nene Giflor, they could have waited for First Division Ihele, FA Cup Ihele. Then you do the awards same night. Best player FA Cup, like Harakuba saying South Africa. PSL awards, you know what the NetBank is in there, the MTN is in there, the knockout tournament when it's in there. You understand? How the awards is leagues your competition still was the run. Like they could have waited.
Talking about coincidentally, positioning your FA Cup, guys, the Orange FA. Why somebody elongated to a point where somebody only 10th of June when people are supposed to be
In
preparing for
pre-season.
Kosafa,
In
people are supposed to
pre-season,
be
yeah, you understand.
out there relaxing with their families and everything. Like, why are we extending that cup to be some sort of lengthier season?
In defense of the Premier League, I want to believe that it started late. Can I remember the season started late? So fixturing has been hectic. So really, into that, I can say maybe no was not the date. I hope that next season.
But we always
Guess.
see FA Cup in
Yeah, I don't know
You don't
why
think they should look
missed it.
into this thing?
They should look into it definitely to say, start the FA Cup early so that we can play it well. No, so that I was on a little bit. Start the FA Cup early. Timidi time they didn't the rest weekend and some of the midweek fixtures do who could I think we have a lot of weeks there.
Because the concern now is that the playoff is only a single
Yeah.
weekend.
Yeah.
And FA law nega weekend is that we had more
Most stadium.
more stadium. No,
National.
National stadium, yes.
So now you are thinking about people look up into Zimbabwe. You know how Botswana supporters love football, rolling. Like those teams who are young strikers, they have supporters.
But the
And
onus is
also
on
you
the
are
teams.
taking away chance for the teams to play also the level.
Yeah.
Because now you are separating in terms of
Yeah.
supporters.
No, I think the issue is simple, really. The onus is on the teams that determine the semi-final. VTM or King Matebele, joining Galaxy.
Your beloved systems.
Security systems, all these teams, I don't see them rallying their fans enough. I don't see their efforts in rallying their fans to say, let's fill up the stadium. It's a double header. They should engage with the sponsor and everything. But the last week of fixtures, a lot of teams by inviting the artists, the promotions before games, the curtain raiser. They should put more effort because at the end of the day, it's their brands as well that are at stake right there. So, Galaxy, logo joining the Black Card, Matebele le bone bo gabu ba emelle VTM VTM they used to host a lot of activities at their
they know how to do
Yeah.
they know how to do
this
it.
thing. Yeah.
So these guys they really should make sure that they complement the effort they are the sponsor they are the Premier League. So I want to go in a day go ra gore nka defend hona le mathata.
Yeah.
Okay, it can be an episode until then, unless we speak about joining and Patang. What do you think about him? Is he taking the FA? I hear rumors that he might go back to the assistant position and they might look for a new gaffer.
A more experienced gaffer.
Do you think they should do that or what? And also, while on it, can we talk about maybe the squads are joining. Do you think it's time that they let go of a lot of players, a number of players,
Yeah.
in terms of age and everything?
Yeah, I think 16 has done well for joining. Hasuma, the head coach role, even though it was on an interim basis. Johnny was drawing a lot of games, man. They were not losing, but they were not winning a lot of points. Never draw. And he came in, Basimon collected the points. Yeah, ultimately he fell at the last hurdle. But he's still in the FA Cup running, and I think they might have the squad to take it. Yeah, if he takes it, it's an even better season for him. I think.
Do you think it's time for the guys to, for them to start thinking about? I was looking at their squad. I think average when they will be around what? If not 29, I don't know.
29, a lot of their players are
29,
over 30.
30.
29, 30.
Yeah.
A lot of their players are over 30.
Yeah.
A lot, like a lot
And
of
the
them.
key players.
Key players over there.
Yeah.
You look into. A lot of them are aged. Almost.
Yeah.
Almost the entire.
They're talented players. It's a talented squad. Well experienced, but it's time to start injecting some fresh
Like
legs
some
in there.
youth, yeah?
Some youth nyana in there. I know they have that defender Kopela.
Yeah.
The younger kid.
The younger. I think he's one of the
Yeah,
the youngest kid.
24,
24, but you even need 20-year-olds, man, younger players, 25. Because a lot of guys, even Godunga, those who are injured, they're well aged.
How old is-
They're approaching their 30s.
How old is Ramon?
Ramon.
He's young, I guess.
Yeah, he's young. I think he's relatively
But what is
24.
young? Around 24,
He's
25, I think.
24, 25, you're not
But
young. You're
still on joining with the issues of the mining industry in the Botswana issues. Do you see Banale Matata financial injection from their parent company or their support structure? And do you see that affecting their entire season coming?
Yeah, it's very possible. But so far, we haven't had any issues in like in terms of player welfare and everything else. So, in terms of diamond sales and whatnot, as a country, I think we all want to see so that our economy gets where we want it to be. Yeah, Lebanon, that would be okay. I believe they'll be okay.
No,
Do you think they're going to have a good season? Or
they
they're
should.
going to be strugglers next season?
They're a strong team. They're going to have a fair season. They'll have a fine season. Because they have a talented coach. I don't know if you'll still be a coach or young or assistant coach, but also Galaxy in a Lohipola. For me, I don't know the appointment of the gentleman who was then released. You know, a lot of our teams sometimes these guys.
That's a compliment.
It's a compliment.
Yeah, it's a compliment.
Yeah,
He's
you know,
a person.
he's a very
We
passionate.
love all people.
Yeah.
He's a very passionate coach, that guy. And sometimes maybe we tend to not understand each other with our coaches because I feel like that was the wrong.
The way Oraba didn't understand content.
Yeah, the way Oraba didn't.
Then GU understood it.
Then GU understand.
And GU are champions.
And they play.
Thank you so much, guys. It has been a great episode. We love to leave you. By now, people know us, I think. But I'm Saisa. M in short.
Matt.
Yeah, it's all.
Shut.